Greetings, Hallowmaniacs. It's Zeph here. And join me as we say goodbye to the most recent Gothic Bordeaux collection at Michael's and hello to Halloween. Today we take two different stops to two different stores, and the shelves were stocked. I think some of the collection may end up surprising you, but I think some you're going to absolutely love and adore. Let's kick this off and let's get going. Alright, so this one was stop one of our two Michael store adventure here, and it had a lot of different merchandise. There was probably more at the second store that you'll see as we show on later here, but this one still had a lot, and I noticed a couple themes going on here. One, there's some really great ornaments that we saw that when we first walked in here, and I really do think that a all Halloween kind of Christmas tree would be a great thing, and Michael's is a great place if you want to get some ornaments for it. Here we also saw some of these, they remind me of like pillow pals. You know when you go on a cruise ship and they'll sometimes give you those towel animals? That's kind of the vibe I was getting with these. And you'll notice a lot with Michael's this year. A lot of their themes are they have the Halloween cats, but you'll also see dogs as well in a lot of their decorations. This was so cute right here. It's a pillow, but it was priced at $29.99, and right now they're kind of in the midst of setting up everything, so I did not see any discount codes or sale items yet. Not that they won't. Usually a lot of the stuff will have some kind of sales, but always check out if you go to a Michael's. There's usually a percentage off coupon that you can find on michaels.com, so always look for that on a regular price item. But there was just so many different things, and as we all know, sometimes when you see something that you really want, kind of get the coupon and maybe get it, because sometimes stuff sells out. Not that a lot of this will, but I wouldn't be surprised. There are a lot of people coming and looking for Halloween. I actually saw coming in here with Joe, and this was somebody that was actually in a whole witch's costume going in and looking straight for the Halloween. So I think people are ready for Halloween. So yeah, you never know what you're going to see, and this stuff was adorable. As I said, I think there was a lot of theming going on here. You'll kind of notice this was a ton of pillows. The RIP gravestone one was really cute. These little ghosts were they were adorable. I think a lot of this was cutesy Halloween. You'll see here in a minute. There was one theme that I'm kind of not so sure about, but we'll get to that in a second here. But a lot of these pillows were adorable. I like the little kitty cat here, the skeleton cat pillow. A lot of rhinestones. You'll notice there's kind of a lot of even like a disco ball theme here you'll see in certain merchandise. Back to these. This is a really large pillow with the ghost. It was adorable, kind of holding a candy corn there. So I noticed a lot of those. Here's a dog right there with a trick-or-treat bag. There's just so many different things to look at. So if you're in the hunt for a Halloween type of pillow this year, go to Michael's. But here was that disco ball theme that I was talking about, $12.99, and you can have your own bat disco ball theme here. And you'll notice there's going to be a lot of silvers, a lot of pinks, and black here as well. So there was a lot of different theming. I think I remember it was either last year or the year prior. They had a lot of pastels. Here I noticed there's going to be a ton of pink this year. You'll see here in a second. But I'm kind of more of I like the traditional orange, the greens, the purples, even things like that. So I was kind of on pink overload, but you can see they are setting up. So maybe they're kind of bringing out a little bit more Halloween stuff, maybe more of the traditional, the oranges and blacks. But there you can see they're setting up the Lemax display here. They didn't have the actual display because every year you go into Michael's, and that's one of my favorite things to do is to look at the Lemax display all set up. They have it in a really cool village display. And here at this store in particular, they're just getting ready to kind of put the boxes on the shelves here. And yeah, I love Lemax, but again, the full price items before the discount, it can be quite pricey. Oh, and here is pink alert. No, not orange alert, but pink alert. It surprised me so much is when I saw this. I kind of, I like it. I think it's very cutesy, but again, to be honest with you, I'm kind of the more I like the traditional, the orange, the blacks, and kind of traditional Halloween. It's not that this is not adorable. I do like it. You'll notice there's a lot of like kind of white. It goes like a light pink, a darker pink, and there's ghost, a lot of bows. And they had a lot where the shiny material. Here are these kind of table sitters. And they had some here that I was looking at and I thought, oh wow, they have like kind of a smaller ones that you see sitting there. but they have a medium one. It's right here in the medium size. They all have their cute little bows, and again, that light pink, dark pink, and white kind of silvery theme there. But then on the bottom shelf, you'll notice there is actually a larger size one. So they had 3 different sizes, and I got this, I was kind of warming up to it. I'm like, this is cute. It's different too from years prior. I know they had one, it was like balloon animals and metallic. So I do feel like Michael's theming, they do have the traditional Halloweens with some of the oranges and the blacks and the purples and things like that. But every year they kind of have more of that modern, kind of different spin on Halloween. And this right here, these are like little disco ball cats. And I was looking at it here, and it's not a terrible price, but something like this, if I were just to see that cat right there, I would not think that's a Halloween item. I would want to kind of almost in tradition with our cat Binks, I'd want to keep it up all year round. So maybe that's what some people will do. But again, moving on, not only do you have the disco ball, but here it was kind of like a velvety felt type of display. And the next Michael's that we go to, there's a lot of different things. So it's not just cats, not just ghosts. You'll see there's skulls, there's spiders, there's all kinds of different things here. But yeah, they had almost anything that you could imagine. I mean, if you are someone that loves the color pink, you are going to want to hit up Michael's this year, because it is going to be, I think, as you can tell, not everything is stocked in the store here. It's going to be huge. There's going to be so many different pink themed Halloween decor. And you can kind of tell on the backdrop there, you'll see there's an orange backdrop there with the stripes, and then there's a pink one. And I saw a lot of pink here, so kind of looking, you can see there's a lot of bathroom decor, and we can see we're kind of getting into some of the ceramics too. So they had some really cute skeleton resin figures. I did like they had some of like the ceramic plastic even dishes and signage kind of going on here. These are cute, these little gothic mugs right there. So a lot of different cool things. Feeling witchy, be that witch. So yeah, there was a lot of just girly overload for me right here, and I liked it. I like that. I don't know, I think this little skull cookie jar, and you can see on the skulls the little bow ties are bats. And here I found a little random sign place here, so it makes me think that maybe eventually this is going to be 40% off, or maybe they're setting up, I don't know if they just wanted to place that sign out there. But here you can see again that orange stripe background right there. Here was kind of more going into that traditional. This is the stuff I really enjoy and love, is the orange, the blacks, and here's that theme. You can see there's a cat, and then there is a dog. So for those of you that are Halloween dog lovers, not maybe necessarily the black cat themes that you like, but you love your doggy, they had a lot of different puppy merchandise as well too. This was a really cool, see that big tall, it was heavy, this ghost kind of candy dish statue right here, and I had to get Joe to help me because I'm like, this is heavy to lift, but it was $139 or $140 pretty much, and that was a really cool sturdy figure. They had this, I was really liking some of these big signs that they had spooky right here, and you know, we like to stay spooky on this channel, so I was digging that sign there. And then just kind of going through here, I noticed these little pumpkins right here, and I was kind of looking at this and I was like, wait, what are these? At first I thought they were salt and pepper shakers, but no, they are ornaments and they are adorable. I think $9.99 each. It is the most wonderful time of the year. I like this sign right here by Ashlyn, $14.99. And they had, again, so much signage going on. And I really, really, really loved this orange and black theme here, the more the traditional. But going to Michael's, this is more of like your cutesy Halloween. If you're looking for really scary, spooky stuff, there is not much of that here yet. But kind of going on our way out, I noticed the Gothic Bordeaux collection. And I enjoyed that this year. That was a kind of a nice prelude to Halloween and kind of get us into that spooky mood. You can see it's discounted at a good price right now. So head to your Michael's if you have anything maybe at that collection that you did not see that you would like to pick up. Probably a good time for that. But I did see some more randomly placed Lemax boxes over here. That first building was really cool. Kind of looking into it, I think there's a lot of like carnival themed, and I do have a lot of the Lemax and Spooky Town, Department 56. I have a own village that I will show you as we get closer to Halloween, and it's something I really enjoy to actually put up, and I'm kind of new at it, so have been collecting throughout the years, but last year was actually the first time that I went and actually set up the village. It took me a while, but yeah, I'm glad I did, and I think it's going to be an annual thing that I like to do. And Definitely a lot of carnival themed here. I don't have a carnival themed in my Lemax, so I was a little bummed because a lot of it was more carnival themed, or something that I like, kind of the traditional spooky. But I love these. I mean, it's, again, may not be something that I want to start because it can be an expensive hobby to collect and to set up, but I enjoyed it. I like that Ferris wheel right there with each little different character into it. So if you have a carnival theme, I think that's a great one to pick up. Here you can see that's one of the things with Lemax. There's just so much details. I love the paint jobs on them. They have accessory figures. So again, I would definitely, unless there was maybe a hard piece that you're worried about not getting that you maybe don't see, definitely head to your store now, print out that coupon and get it. But if you also are new to it and you see a ton of them that you like, these will probably be discounted in the near future. So, if you want to get it at a cheaper price, definitely hang on a little bit here. A lot of these stores, they have not set it up yet. So here was the second store that we went into, and I noticed this one had even more Halloween stuff. And the first thing I noticed was just even all the floral arrangements. And again, we're back to that pink. I like it. It's cool. And I think it would look amazing if you had a whole room or theme with it. The pink and the black, maybe the whites with the little ghosts. Those little ghosts up there were so adorable. They're squishy, and I like these kind of sparkle figure floral decorations right there. But here I like, again, it's that disco. I just feel it's like very 70s and disco theme, but I like that. It's sparkly right here. Price at, I think those were $19.99. Some of them were $12.99. They're all mixed at different prices, but again, they were not discounted at this moment. They probably will be soon, but if there's something that you see that you definitely want to pick up, get that coupon and go in there and get it. Here's just some more. I saw some black floral arrangements, and sometimes too, I think that can look so cool if you have that mixed in with like that deep red, kind of get that gothic look. Here's some more if you have for like wreath decorations. They had a lot of that kind of coming out on the end caps of the aisles here. And then we kind of moved into this store again. While they did not have the Lemax display all set up there on the platform, they did have a lot of the Lemax boxes out. You could tell they were a little bit more stocked than the other store. And there was some new pieces here that I love this right here, Hocus Pocus, a photography shop. And this was something that I had not noticed into like some of the videos. Maybe I overlooked it, but I like that. Here's a different piece too that I wasn't familiar with. It almost looks like a dance ballroom scene. That was pretty cool right there. That would be a good centerpiece item if you're new to getting a village. Get a good piece or two that you want to have as a centerpiece, add on some accessories. And that's what I loved about this store. I'll show you. They had a lot of the accessories already up, because a lot of it is going to be the lighting of your village, the platforms that you have, and this store had a lot of the pieces out. And I love this right here. This was for $4.99 only, which is cheap in Lemax world. With the accessory with the little Dracula. Here was a cute little skeleton. He was adorable. And some of them, they had it even like $8.99, $6.99. This was cute. Little boy walking his dog. I like this right here. This little kind of monster figure for $8.99. You have coffins there, little jack-o'-lanterns. Those are all just great accent pieces. So if you have a house, a graveyard, Lemax has you covered with probably getting some kind of accessory to make that village. So this was cute, the two little troublemaker skeletons in the wheelbarrow there. Here was a tree that they have, they kind of look like little miniature candy corns. They have those adorable trees. And another thing too is sometimes look at your local Dollar Tree as you get closer to Halloween. Sometimes you can find things for your miniature village in there as well. And here, I like this clown. He was cute. He was kind of mischievous and creepy looking at the same time. But they had so many different things. I like this, the pumpkins and pumpkin patch. That's one of the things I have is a little pumpkin patch in my village. Here's another little figure that had kind of like a witchy one with the black cats. And this is kind of new this year. It had a 5-pack for 5 figurines for $24.99. And it had all the pumpkins here. You had just so many different figures. A little tree there. I like that. Here's the one with trick-or-treaters, a family that was set up. And then kind of going here, if you had a pirate theme, this would kind of be a cool one. If you had like a water or river themed, you had a little boat here. Here was a spooky town sign that lights up. So this would be kind of nice for your village too. If you want to have a welcome sign, maybe to the opening of your village. They had a lot of lighting and decorations and lanterns. This was a street light with a pumpkins hanging from it, which those are really neat. A lot of them are battery operated, and just sometimes even planning your village, you have to kind of know that if you have a lot of buildings, you're going to need a lot of outlets, probably surge protectors, things like that. Here are some of those platforms that kind of give that grass colored or that fall setting here. It's all about the lighting. You're going to need adapters. One of the main things that I learned with setting up a village is to take an adapter that has multiple outlets that you can take and plug in different buildings all into one plug. So that way you have less cords running underneath the table or wherever you're setting it up. These were adorable with the tree stumps. Some of these here too are battery operated, so they're not with an adapter that you'll plug in. You'll notice that some of them have battery, and here are the lanterns. I like that because it's all about not only having the buildings, but also having, like, they have little leaves that you can put down. I mean, there's so many different things. I could talk about Lemax for days, but let's move on to some of the other merchandise. So here, I tried to capture in this store things that I had not caught in the other store, and this, you'll just see there was even more different pillows and accent pillows, and my goodness, if you need a pillow, go to Michael's this year. There's so many. And here I saw, oh, you can see, I like this one right here, this purple. It was kind of like the bats with the trees with the crow right there, a raven. And you can see it's what, $29.99. So I imagine it's going to be discounted pretty soon. If not, take the coupon. But you'll notice here as well, here is that dog theme. So here, right, you'll notice a cat, and right above it is a dog. So there are a lot of, if you see a cat, you're going to see a dog as well. But these pillow cushions they're pretty cute. And I've noticed they've become really, really popular. I'm a fan of skulls and skeletons. So this pillow right here was pretty cute. And then there is a pink alert. This one had a lot of the ghosts and the, I think even more, we saw the felt or the plain colored ghosts, but they even had like disco ghosts up there and little tiny ghosts with the felt. I like this beware, do not disturb, head inside sign. A lot of signage going on here, but here are some more ghost figures, sparkle ghost, disco ghost, felt ghost. I like these, the little bats on the pumpkin here. And then the little skulls with the headphones on. I mean, it's just like girly overload. I like it though. It's cute. I like the little bows here. I think that's little spiders right there. So many different things to look at. Be sure to leave a comment. I'm curious to see what your thoughts are on the pink Halloween, which is kind of funny to say, the pink Halloween. But yeah, let us know. Are you a fan of this? Is this something that maybe you really are looking forward to? If you are, how are you planning to decorate? What are kind of the things that you want to do with this theme right here? I did like the little bathroom kind of skeletons here. I think some of them, they're very humorous, and I will have to go back and check it out. Like once I can see that, give them a little bit of time to fully set up. But I will be curious to see what the full setup and layout of the Michael's display is going to be. Here, I did see a little bit of those. Remember earlier they had like those balloon kind of creatures from last year. I saw a little bit of that with that boo sign here. This was cute. It was a kind of a bulb wreath that you have here. Again, I would like to see it if it was more of like the oranges and purples. I think that would pop more, but if you're going for that pink theme, that is adorable. Speaking of pink, I think a lot with this theming here, it kind of reminds me of the movie Mean Girls. I picture Regina George decorating for Halloween and using all of these pink items like that. Drop in the comments too, tell me if you agree with that one. I did see a ton of foam pumpkins, so these are great if you want to make your own pumpkin designs and then kind of put your own light in them. They had a lot of them here. I think they're priced at least the smaller, the medium ones were $19.99. But going back here were some more of the traditional Halloween. I noticed this little cauldron concoction bottle here. They had trick-or-treat sign. $19.99, you'll see this witch's hand here. I like that holding up the peace sign. It looked like, reminded me of the Wicked Witch of the West from Wizard of Oz with the green hand like that. It had a cauldron and that was priced at $14.99. Moving on here, I saw this is kind of cute that you could put up on a shelf, or it's kind of like the little nutcrackers here, and they had a lot of different themes. You'll see a dog there on the left. I like this. The jack-o'-lantern one was my favorite, but the witch, she was adorable. And they're all priced at $14.99. You have a skeleton, but there's a lot of cute different things that you could do with that. Here was a artwork or canvas, kind of, I think it was priced at $69.99. Had it with the ghost kind of all huddled together with the black background. I thought that was adorable in the frame. Definitely something I would want to wait until it got discounted or had some sort of, coupon for it. These were adorable, the little dogs in the taxi. I like this one a little bit more, the ghost in the taxi cab here, but you had a lot of that ceramic figures. Again, a lot of dog themed. Here's little pumpkins in a bathtub. That would be cute if you had the bathroom, kind of shelf or counter for it. Oh my gourd, you saw the sign there. This right here was a LED display light. I was kind of looking at it. I didn't really see what it was until I noticed at the very end it did have a light up in it. But I want to show you what we ended up taking home from that haul, because there was a lot of cool merchandise and a lot to go through. And we may have went home with some Lemax figures, so I'll show you that right now. Alright guys, I am back home and I wanted to show what I ended up taking home with me. A lot of the stuff that I ended up taking home from Michael's was probably going to be a lot of the Lemax, the Spooky Town collection. I do have a tiny village, so I will show you that. There'll be another video this fall when I kind of set it up here, but these are some great accessories and I loved it because the second store that we went to had a lot more. The first store had no accessories out, so I'm always looking. I love those kind of village enhancements, and these accessories are a great way to do that. So I love this one first here, pumpkins for sale. Then there's a vampire figure, which only $4.99, and again there was a 30% off coupon, so I didn't pay full retail. And that's always a good idea if you have something, because a Lemax will sell out. I mean, it seems like very early this year that they put it out. I started to see it in end of May, so it was kind of like, oh my goodness, it's still almost 5 months to Halloween, and yeah, stuff is already hitting the shelves in the stores. So if you have something in mind that you like, definitely kind of grab it now because it will probably sell out. All right, this next item is, I really like these. These are two little spooky trees, kind of tree trunks you can see that will light up. They have a battery pack here. This was on sale for, well, it's retail at $19.99, but again, 30% off. So always have that coupon or wait till it is discounted. But I like these. I've never seen these before. I think they must be new this year because I don't remember them from last year. I didn't really have the pamphlet to see what was exactly new this year, but I don't remember these, so I'd say it's a new find. But I think these are adorable. I like these sometimes too. Less cords is great. You just have to have a way to kind of hide the battery pack, which you can do usually under some leaves or different, kind of put it behind a building, whatnot. But I love these. I think it's a great enhancement piece, and yeah, I'll show you the next one. This was so cool. I've never seen where they kind of came in a pack of 5. I like these right here. There's a lot of different ones. These pumpkins are super adorable. I love this little pumpkin scarecrow figure with the ravens or crows sitting on its shelf there, or the shoulders. Got another tree figure here. Keep out sign. So this was pretty good, and I think it's not bad. It's a pretty reasonable price of $25 for 5 different pieces that you can get. And then definitely if you have the coupon code or wait till it's discounted, that's even better, right? So this find right here is so important. If you do have a village display, I mean, you can always put it just on a shelf or anything like that. I like to kind of get that full ambiance of having like the grass, the kind of having certain buildings kind of heightened up, and that's something I want to really focus on this year. Like I said earlier, last year was my first time setting up a village, so it was kind of just working on the fly and kind of seeing how it laid out. And now that I kind of had the building set up, now I can kind of see what I needed more of. And these are so important. So they're mats that kind of give that grass look, and you can see it right here unfolded out, and then you can put it on the table. And it's great because it's like kind of creates that whole Halloween scene. You get that fall grass. It's not bright green. You can see there's like little strands of brown, and it's mixed in with the green. So it's, yeah, kind of gives that fall ambiance. And wait till you see this next thing. So this is a really fun and important piece if you want to create that village scene. If you're a crafty person, you probably could go ahead and make something similar to your own. But it's like platform. So it's 3 pieces, and you can go ahead and kind of elevate buildings with this. You can, again, have maybe something lower, have that grass pad underneath. I mean, there's even roads, there's pavement, sidewalk, you name it. You can create that whole scene. So here flipped over, you can see it's still in the package, but it comes in 3 pieces, and it kind of is a foam setting, and then it has that grass and dirt kind of look to it. So really cool piece to have. And again, it's something that will enhance and embellish your village. So the last thing was actually the first building of this year for 2025 for me. And this was something, so I kind of was going into this and I was a little bit surprised in a good way, because I kind of saw online where Michael's had, and it seemed a lot of carnival theme to me. I like the traditional kind of haunted house, the spooky. Believe me, I love the carnival themes. I love kind of the pirate or the lagoon, the water themes, but I just don't have enough space to have everything, right? These can get kind of pricey. So I kind of tailor to one theme over the others. And I kind of like that traditional spooky. And going into this, I was not aware of the Hocus Pocus, the Undead Portrait Studio. And I'm thinking, after watching some other videos from different creators online, there might even be some more buildings that were not on the Michaels exclusive that they will still have for Lemax Spooky Town. So I'm kind of happy. I'm hopeful that as we kind of roll out Halloween and shelves kind of get stocked a little bit better, we're going to see a little bit more buildings maybe that we weren't anticipating to actually be there. So this one was great. I love it. It has a lot of detail. It's a light up figure, so there's no motion, no sound. And you can see it will have like kind of the creatures in the window. I like the Frankenstein right here with the witch. That is super adorable. And then you have the creatures, or the skeletons, essentially waiting to get their portrait taken right here in the window. So I love it. I think it's a great piece. Happy to have this. And it is my first official 2025 Lemax Spooky Town piece. All right, so there you have it. I think that's going to do it for this video. Again, I really enjoyed seeing Michael's kind of laying out their Halloween display. I think more is to come. I do not think that this is it. I'm a little kind of, again, I like the pink theme. It's not my favorite. I'm more, to be honest, I'm more of a traditional Halloween kind of. I like the oranges, the blacks. So, I mean, it's great. And I think if you are a lover of pink, this would be a great time to get your Halloween decor and kind of stock up, because this year's theme is for you. But again, I love anything Halloween. We are the Hallowmaniacs. So yeah, we appreciate it all. So this was a great time at Michael's. Looking forward to seeing what else they put out this year. And as always, friends, remember to stay spooky.
Trick or treat.